Hello there. How are you?
I'm fantastic. First question for you. When do you sleep, Steve?
Sleeping is not important, nor is it part of the job description. And I've said this too many times. I'll sleep when I die. No, it's all good. Listen, um, I, we love what we do. Uh, it's incredible. This is the best time of year because you come Winter Classic All-Star Game. I'm, if you can see behind me, that's an NC State football picture. I'm in Carolina getting ready for Stadium Series. My voice, feels the sort of no sleep, but we love this time of year. Our events team loves this time of year, and it's fun. It's fun. So, we'll sleep later after this is all over.
Confirm or deny you're at Elbow Room this past weekend in Fort Lauderdale. You don't have to answer, just nudge your head.
I will firmly deny my presence at the Elbow Room. But I could tell you that there were quite a few NHL folks that were there, overflowing, as were all the places in Fort Lauderdale. I think the city was extremely happy that we came to town, and all the restaurants. That's what the impact of an All Star game is in a city. We bring a lot to that area, and a lot of people that normally don't go to All Star games came down because of where it was and the ability to have a great time for a weekend. So that's always good.
Thank you for the hospitality, first and foremost. The fanfare at the beach was outstanding. As you know, our setup with the NHL Fantasy Podcast was bar none fantastic. So appreciate that. So the big announcement from our perspective being Leafs Morning Take. So Toronto is the host city for next year's All-Star Game. Can you take us behind the scenes how that came about?
So I think what happened for us uniquely was the fact that we were heading down a World Cup of Hockey path. We were looking at cities for World Cup of Hockey, both internationally and in North America. And, we thought it was going to happen. And then certain things took place, not only, in our world, but the world. And we decided to postpone. And then we had to quickly say, all right, where are we going to have an all-star game? The folks in Toronto been after All Star for a long time. Many years have put in proposals, wanted to play the All Star game. There aren't a lot of cities that you can go to like that quickly and have the infrastructure to put on an All Star game. And there's a lot to that infrastructure: hotel rooms, convention space, meeting space, obviously a first class arena, and Toronto's one of those cities that has it. And because we have to put this together in now less than a year, we felt that this was a great place to have an All Star. We haven't been in Canada since we were in Ottawa in 2012. One by one, things sort of lined up for Toronto to be the leading candidate. And then, in our conversations, which happened over the course of just a few months, everything lined up really well. The organization, top notch, wanted the game. The city, Destination Toronto, really like put their, 10 toes, 10 fingers all in, saying, let's do this. The hotels all welcomed us. And so one by one, the pieces fell into place, and Toronto became the favorite, and then eventually the place that we announced during All Star that we're heading to.
Rosie?
Cool. Steve, you kind of touched on it a little bit. Obviously, having, say All-Star Game, for example, in Canada, you're kind of limited with the outdoor activities that you can have. Obviously, watching this weekend, you had lots going on outside in Florida. Is it preferred to have, not just weather-wise, but as far as, Toronto being the hockey hub of the world, basically, to have an All-Star Game there, obviously, you're going to have the passion and the experience of hockey fans. Is it better to have it in Fort Lauderdale or Arizona or somewhere where you're growing the game and getting new eyeballs on the sport? Or what's your guys' take on that when you're planning?
Now, listen, I think there's advantages to both. I really do. There's we've had the last few years in warmer climates, and that's great. But when you could go to a city that just loves hockey, will appreciate the All-Star Game like no other city. I mean, we're just going to have to feed into that environment, and what the fan is going to be looking for. Whether we do something outside, which, by the way, why not? Whether we do something outside or we do just events around the city, we're going to play to the city that we're in. We'll take advantage of the alumni, the passionate hockey fan who will welcome these all-stars with open arms. I mean, this is a big deal in any city. We're not always going to go. We have 32 teams that are in all different environments. We clearly understand that. What we have established in the last couple of years are some nuances that were unique to those cities. Whether we do them again, we really haven't gotten into the creative yet. But, we're certainly going to take advantage of the city and all it has to offer, and make that a part of the All-Star experience. I think it'll be great. I really do. And I think there's a lot that the team, the city, the fan base have to offer. And, those are the things that we'll consider as we put together the weekend.
I ask this almost selfishly because I'm a big fan, but what are the chances we see a Justin Bieber performance at All-Star next year?
Well, I'd like to think that they will be good. I really do. We engage.
He gone.
There, you're back. You're back.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. We had a video that he produced and he put together, and that was one of the easiest videos we've ever had to get from a celebrity. It was just like, hey, will you do this? Sure. Listen, I think there is a true interest. Obviously, he has a great relationship with the team. He has a great relationship with the league, and we would love to have him perform. That's what I'll say. Whether he does it or not, that's going to be a Justin Bieber decision. But, the offer is being made right on your show. Please, Justin, let's get you out there. Let's perform as part of the weekend. We would love it. We've tried before. Maybe this is the time we're going to get him. But in that video that he put together, he clearly said he was going to be at the game. So we're going to take him with his word, and we're going to continue to talk to him throughout the year, and hopefully he has a big involvement with our game.
Not to mention he's really good friends with a certain number 34 in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Rosie, last question to you, buddy.
Yeah, curious with your involvement in the NHL. I'm just curious how much Gary Bettman is involved in your role and all the events that go on. I mean, he's been there forever, just a staple of the head man of the NHL. Is he involved in the day-to-day with this kind of stuff, or does he kind of let you go and do your thing?
Well, a little of both. He does allow us to have the freedom and gives us the canvas to create. But we create alongside him. Like there's very little that we do that he doesn't have a sign off on. He doesn't have input. He's truly amazing, and I've worked in this business for a very long time. You can tell from the gray hair. He's been around, and he's a great partner. He sees things that others don't. We could be working on something for weeks and weeks, and we'll bring it to him. And it's amazing, guys, to hear his immediate response in the room and the questions that come out that make you think like, woof, why didn't I think of that? I mean, he constantly makes you step back and say that. And he always puts a touch on something that makes it better. At least that's my opinion. And, he's a pleasure to work with. He loves what I do. He likes the sort of creative. He loves the entertainment aspect of it all, and he likes to be involved. He's really, for those in your audience, like way up on pop culture and knows what's currently going on. And so, yeah, I welcome his involvement. I do not shy away from it. And, he has been a partner on many of the things that I've done and we've done. And so to answer your question, he is involved. And by the way, he also will let you go and run with something and will support it. And he welcomes new ideas. He definitely has a certain way of thinking. I think we've all sort of learned that over time. And some of our thought processes, are because what would Gary do here? But he's a really great person to work with, and I've one of the highlights certainly of my time at the National Hockey League.
Well, Steve, it goes without saying we can't wait for All-Star Weekend next year. Shout out to producer Bob Bender, who did fantastic work this past weekend in Florida. And again, thanks so much for the hospitality. It was a great time, and appreciate your time today.
The next time I'm with you guys, I want you pitch me ideas. Like, I want to hear from you. We're listening to fans. We want to know, what does everybody want to see? Forget what we want. What do the fans want? And so the next time I come on, I want it's going to be listening to you guys. So let's do that soon.
Sounds good.
We'll scour the fans and try to think of ideas. I can't imagine it's easy to please everyone, Steve, but we'll try to do that with our fan base as best as we can. We appreciate the thought.
Yeah, we try to make as many people happy, but as you guys know, it's never simple. But I'd love to listen, and we're gonna put on a great show. We hope that everybody in Toronto will be proud of next year's All-Star Game. But let's get to work.
Awesome.
Let's do it. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.